Hi everyone. We are going to do some kids yoga today. So if you have a mat right now, you can get your mat out. You can get blocks if you have blocks, maybe some water, whatever it is that you need. You can get that out right now before we begin. Okay. I will move back this way just a little bit, get my mat all straightened and organized, and then finding a comfortable seat on our mat. So, I haven't seen you since last Friday, and I hope everything is going well. We are going to start by taking a few deep breaths before we get into some of our postures. So take a nice long inhale in through your nose, and then a nice long exhale back out through your nose. Great. One more time. Inhale through your nose, and exhale through your nose. Perfect. As we go through, you can stop and just take deep breaths whenever you want, right? So we're thinking of inflating our balloon in our belly and then deflating that balloon, right? Inflate and deflate our balloon. Perfect. Today we're going to start with something a little bit different. So this is a chime, and many of you have seen or used these at school before. So we are going to use this chime today. So what we're going to do is I am going to ring the chime, and you are going to listen as long as you can for the sound of the chime. When you can't hear it anymore, and then you're going to raise your hand and open your eyes. Okay? So it's just kind of fun to see how long you're really concentrating and paying attention to the sound of the chime. Okay, so let's all close our eyes for a minute. I'm going to ring the chime and listen super careful. Make sure everyone's quiet. And then when you can't hear it anymore, raise your hand. See if you can go longer than I can. Ready? Nice job. So that just helps us to concentrate, right? We can take deep breaths while we're listening, we're focused on something. I like to do that at school too. It also gets attention if you make that noise when people or children are moving about the classroom. So now let's begin. So sitting crisscross applesauce, bring your hands to your knees. Right, like you're holding onto those knees, right? Kind of like you're driving a car. So your knees are your car. We're going to inhale. We're going to open up our heart, reach it up, look up towards the sky. And on our exhale, we're going to round our spine and pull on our knees. Pull on them. And inhale and look up. And exhale to round. Nice job. One more time. Inhale. Open the heart, looking up. Exhale to round our spine, right? So we're just warming up our body right now and coming back to sitting. And just move around a little bit. Then we're going to bring our feet together so the soles of our feet are touching. And you can wiggle around till you feel comfortable, right? We're going to have our little butterfly wings out here, holding our feet. Inhale, reach your head really, really high. Trying to touch your head to the ceiling. And on our exhale, we're just going to hinge a little bit forward, right? So we're bending from our hips forward just a little bit. Our elbows can come right to our little wings there and rest on our wings. Just looking forward. Maybe you walk your fingers forward. And maybe walk them over to the right. And come back. And walk them over to the left. Come back And walk your hands back up. And maybe we just flap our wings for a minute. Let those muscles warm up. Good. Continuing to take those deep breaths. Right? Inflating our balloon and deflating. And bring your knees together and reach your feet forward. Wiggle your toes. Flex your feet so you're bending your toes, so your toes are looking right at your eyes. Right? You can look at your toes as they wiggle. And our arms are going to come over our head. Inhale to lengthen our arms up. And our exhale, we're going to reach towards our toes. If you can't reach your toes, you can bend your knees. Right? My knees are bent a little, and that's okay. Reach towards your toes. You want to keep your back nice and straight, so you make a little ramp with your back. You don't want to hunch over like this. Keep your back nice and straight. And I always move in this pose. I'm not really sure why. But you can stay still or you can move. And just bend. If your knees are bent, maybe bend one and straighten the other. Just moving around a little bit. And walking the hands back up. Sitting up nice and tall. And we're going to take our left foot out to the side and bring our right foot. We're going to hold it. Take that sole of the foot and place it right on the inside of that left leg. Right? So we make like a little arrow or a little check mark with our body. And our arms are going to reach up and reach towards those toes. That whole body is like right over that leg, right? So if I wanted to, I could hug my leg, kiss your knee. You can kiss your knee. Just feel the stretch here. Feeling your lungs expanding and then deflating and inhaling and exhaling, right? We don't pay attention to ourselves breathing, right? We just breathe all the time. We wake up, we're breathing. We go to bed, we're breathing. So it's really interesting sometimes. We're going to switch legs. Interesting to pay attention to your breathing, right? When you pay attention, you really feel that breath. You can feel your lungs moving. You can feel your ribs expanding. You can feel it moving through your body. That's our science lesson for today. Breath. That's all I got, though. I don't have anything scientific to really say about it. Except for it's really good for you. And continuing to stretch our body so we're ready to do some other stuff. And coming back up. And shaking out the legs. And putting them straight in front. Flexing your feet. And then pointing. And then flexing your feet. And then pointing. And again, flex. And point. And then do opposites. So flex one foot and point the other. And switch. And switch. And switch. And see how fast you can do it. Kind of look like you have little flippers. And relax your feet down. Good. Bring your feet back to that crisscross applesauce. And we're going to take our left hand and place it on the mat. We're going to reach our right arm up and over. Nice long stretch all the way from our fingers all the way down to our hip. Nice long stretch. And switch. Switch sides, pushing off that hand to go to the other side. And breathing here, keeping those shoulders square so you're not hunching over. Nice and straight, your whole body still staying to the side. And push into that hand and switch. And switch back. And one more time, switch. And back. And coming to sit. Now we're going to take our hands in front of us, put them on the floor, and roll over those feet so that we come to a tabletop. So we want to make a nice, solid, super strong table. So our knees are right under our hips, and our wrists are right under our shoulders. So we are the strongest table ever. And then just move side to side, right? Feel your hips moving. Getting everything working. Good, and then coming back to neutral. We're going to take our left arm and reach it forward like we're shaking hands. Hello, nice to meet you. And our right foot's going to reach back. Mine touches the wall behind me, so if you have a wall, you can totally press it into a wall. And just reaching in opposite directions. Feel your belly button pull up. right? So you should feel all the little muscles in your belly working. And your arms and your balance. And reaching like in opposite directions. Like someone's pulling you from each side. Oh, and come back down. Wiggle it all out. And we're going to take the other side. So this time, our right arm comes forward and our left foot goes back. And just reaching. You want to keep those hips in line. So you don't want your leg to come way up so your hips are all funny. You want to keep them nice and straight so you're in that straight line. You're still a table, right? Table, someone could put a cup of coffee or some chips, whatever they wanted. They could rest it right there and you'd be nice and strong and stable. And come back down. Good, and move side to side again. And we're going to bring our big toes together and bring our knees out towards the outside of our mat. And we're going to sink our hips down onto our heels. And our arms are going to walk forward. And you can rest your head down on the mat. And resting there. Perfect. Keep resting in that child's pose. Good. And then from here, we're going to come back up to all fours, coming to our tabletop. We're going to curl our toes under. And we're going to lift our knees. And push those hips up and back, coming to a down dog. Perfect. Feeling our heels reaching towards the floor. Our hips are reaching up and back. Nice long line with our body. And walk your feet out. Walk our dog here. Bet lots of people have been walking dogs if they have them. And walk your feet up to meet your hands at the top of your mat. And just fold down. And relax into a forward fold. Nice job. Good. And then wave those hands back and forth. You can put them together. Make an elephant trunk. And come back. Bring your hands to your shins and just look forward. Look forward. Whoop. Maybe we're going on a bear hunt. And come back down. Let your head be heavy. Just shake your head next so you're just hanging out here, wiggling around. And bring those hands back to your shins. Looking out, back nice and flat. Right, so from the side, you're going to look just like this. Right, maybe you're exploring somewhere. Good. Folding down. And then slowly rolling up as slow as you can. Slow, slow, slow. Bring your head and your neck up last. Coming to stand in our mountain pose. So your feet can be about hips width apart. So your legs are straight down. Your hands are super strong by your sides. Fingers reaching for the floor. Good. Pulling your knees. Feel your feet rooting down into the ground like you're growing right into the floor. Your whole body is growing up out of the ground. And then reach your arms up and over your head. And look back. And bring your hands right to your heart. Nice job. Take a big deep breath. And then blow your breath out. And one more time, inhale. And blow it out. Nice work. Now, from here, before we go into some other poses, we are going to take a couple of balancing poses. So, we have to use our brain and our concentration so that we can focus on balancing. And if we can't balance, that's okay. We fall over. Just be careful. Make sure you're not near anything where you're going to fall and hurt yourself. And we won't be doing anything too crazy. So first, we are going to bring our right knee up, just like this, like we're stepping onto a stair. Like we're going to step up. Good. And then we're going to bend it and cross it right across that left leg. So we made a little figure 4 with our feet, right? So now we are balancing in our 4. And we can stay right here. Or we can make it a little more difficult and we can sit just a little bit and bring our hands here like we're sitting in a chair with our legs crossed, just thinking. Maybe we're reading a book, drinking some tea. You gotta use a little pinky. And take one more breath here, balance one more second, and come up and shake it all out. And we'll take the other side. So this time, that right leg is super strong. And we're going to lift our left leg like we're stepping up onto a stair. Right? We stop like mid-step. Like someone calls our name, we're like, stop mid-step. And then twist it and cross it. Figure 4, making our 4. And we can balance right here. Right? Put your arms up. You pretend like you're stuck against a window. Or you can sit down a little, sitting at our table. Maybe we're reading a different book this time. Maybe we're eating a sandwich or a burger, whatever you want to eat. It's almost dinner time, right? So think of what you want to eat. And come back up and shake it all out. Good job. How did that balance go? Everybody have amazing balance? I hope so. Okay. So next, we are going to take our left foot and we're going to step it back. So if you're at the front of your mat, you're going to step your left foot back and you're going to plant your heel on the ground. But you want your toes pointing as if they are pointing at 10 o'clock on the clock. So imagine there's a giant clock in front of your face, right? And it's 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's where your toes are pointing in that direction. And then that front knee, your right knee is going to bend to about 90 degrees. And your hips are going to try to face that front knee. Right? So you're standing just like that. Good. Hands can be right on your hips. Standing in our warrior 1. And then straighten that front knee just for a second. And then bend it. And then straighten. And then bend. Good. And then straighten. And this time bring your hands behind you. Reach behind you. And maybe your hands just reach like that, and that's fine. Or maybe they clasp together. You can hold them. And then you're going to hinge forward, keeping that knee straight, but not locking it out. So it can have a teeny bend in it. And reaching forward. Now we're kind of making that flat table shape with our back again. But our legs are a little bit different. And this is our pyramid pose. And come back up. Whew, release those hands and bend that knee again. And our arms are going to reach up. Reach up like we're super tall. We can reach the sky. Now we're going to open our arms and open our legs. And we're going to come to our warrior 2. So now our legs are wider apart, right? We take up so much space on our mat. Our front knee's still bent. And our back foot is now parallel with the sides of our mat. Right? There's front and the back of the mat. So that left hip is kind of going back, coming forward, right? Where this one's opening. To your nice, strong warrior. Good. Our arms reaching. You can look over those front fingers. Just sinking down and then focus on breathing, right? Take a deep breath in and then let it out. And then close your eyes for a second and just picture. So you want to feel your shoulders and your hips all right in one straight line. You want to feel your body in one straight line, right? You don't want to feel like woo, woo, any which way. You want to try to move around and stay nice and straight. Perfect. Flip that front hand and then paint the ceiling. Paint the ceiling. And reach back. That other hand reaches down the back leg. Reversing our warrior. Good. Coming back to stand. And then turning all our toes. So now they're facing the same direction. Our hands can come to our hips. Our arms can reach out, right? We should look like a starfish. Arms, legs. Our head is our fifth tentacle. I think they call them tentacles. Good. Just reaching. And we're going to bow forward. And stop. See if you can stop right here. Right? Maybe move side to side like an airplane. Oh, and then reach for the floor. And bend the knees a little and roll all the way back up. And then bring your heels in, and then your toes, your heels, and your toes. All the way till you come back to stand. And then shake it out. Pull your elbows. Those are not your elbows. Pull your shoulders up towards your ears. And then let them down. And pull them up. And relax them down. Nice job. Other side. So this time, our left foot's going to stay forward, and we're going to step our right foot back. So our left foot is going to bend. So it's bending about 90 degrees. It doesn't have to be exact. And now our left toes, right, if our clock is this way, are pointed at 2 o'clock, right? At the hour hand. We want to use the hour hand. So our toes are pointing at the 2 o'clock. Our hands are at our hips. Our hips are working so that they are facing forward, right? So they're in the same spot as our front knee. Good. And then straighten. And then bend. And then straighten. And then bend. One more time. Straighten. And bend. And bring the hands behind you, straightening that knee. And you can clasp your hands again. This time, maybe you can grab your wrists, right? You can grab opposite wrists. Inhale to open up your heart, right? So your heart's looking up towards the sun. And exhaling, we're going to hinge forward, trying to make a table with our back on this side in our pyramid pose. And if we can't go down that far, that's okay. Just go as far as you can. But you don't want to hunch over, right? So you'd rather stay up straighter and be nice and long than to hunch over. Good. Take one more breath. A long inhale. And blow it out. And release your arms. Come back up. Bend that knee and reach our arms up super high, like we're touching the clouds. And opening to our warrior two on our other side. So bending that front knee at about 90 degrees, right? From here, we make like 90-degree angle, right? So they're perpendicular. I like to throw in my math. Our back foot is now parallel with the front and the back of our mat, right? So it's the same position as on the other side. And arms reach out. And then move a little. Maybe move forward, maybe move back. So you can feel, it feels a little weird, right? Until you can settle right in the middle. So your head, your body, your hips, all in one line. Just your legs are out. Good. Take a deep breath. Feel the chest rise. And exhale and let it sink down. Flip that front palm, reaching up and reversing like we painted the ceiling. And coming back to stand. And again, move all of our toes so they're in the same direction. So we're making that starfish, right? But this time, bring our heels in. Good, and our toes point out, right? And then sink down. And then move side to side, right? I don't know. This always reminds me of like a crab. I'm not exactly sure why. And then bring your hands to your knees, right? So you can sink a little deeper when you rest your arms on your legs. And we are going to bring our right shoulder to our left knee. And then come back. And then our left shoulder to our right knee. And back. And switch. And come back. And switch. And come back. And hold it just for a second here. Maybe move side to side. And standing up. Shake it all out. And bring those feet together. However you want to get there. Maybe you jump. Perfect. Take a nice long deep breath. Great job. Now we are going to step that left foot back again. This time we're not going to drop the back heel. We're going to keep it up, coming to our high lunge. Okay? So it's our crescent lunge. Use the wall to hold you up if you need to. Good. And sinking down here. And then bend your knee down and straighten it. And bend and straighten. One more time. Good. And then straighten that front knee. And look up. Try to hold your balance. Nice, and bend. And coming back to that warrior two. Nice job. And we're going to reach all the way forward and come back. And then we're going to reach back. Good. So again, reach forward, but bring that right arm to that right thigh, and our left arm comes up. Coming to our side angle. Creating an angle with our body, right? From here all the way down, creates a nice little angle. And then come back up in reverse, straightening that front knee, reversing our triangle. And coming back to our warrior two. And one more time, come down to our side angle. And reach up and back to straighten that front knee and reverse our triangle. And come to stand, keeping that leg straight this time. Reach forward. And then hinge down and make a triangle, right? So your leg should make a perfect triangle. Try not to rest that hand on that leg, right? Because we want to just feel the stretch. We don't want to hurt ourselves, right? So you should feel this in your belly. Maybe you can pretend you're holding a big beach ball. And come back up. Good. And come to the center. And just switch sides. Okay? So we're just going to turn to the other side. And we're going to come back to that high lunge, right? Our crescent lunge. Left leg is forward, right foot is back. And bend that knee and straighten. Bend, straighten, bend, straighten. One more time, bend, straighten. Nice job. Back to that warrior two. Anytime you need to stop and take a breath, please do that, because sometimes, especially when you're talking, you need to stop and take a deep breath. And reach forward and back so you can feel the difference, and come to the center and reach forward. Now that left arm comes to that left knee and our right arm reaches up. Coming to that side angle. Good. Keeping those shoulders stacked on top of each other. And then reach up and all the way back, straightening our front knee to reverse our triangle. And come down. And reverse. Last time. Down. And reverse. Good. Just coming to stand. Keeping those legs straight. Reaching forward. And hinging to our triangle. Good job. Getting our geometry in. And coming back to stand. Moving those toes to the middle. Bringing your hands right to your back and folding all the way forward. Stop right here. Look around. And hands come down. Hop your feet in and come to sit on your knees. Nice work. We are going to come from here into a camel pose. Okay, so I'm going to teach you a couple ways to do this because it can be a little tricky. So if you have some blocks, you can use them. If not, I'm going to show you how to do it without it. So I'm going to do it sideways. You can just stay forward. If you have blocks, you can place them right on the outside of your feet. If not, we're going to do that way first. So everyone can just put their hands right on their lower back. So you're standing up on your knees right now. Hands on your lower back. And you're going to inhale. And on your exhale, you're just going to push your hips forward And you can look up. Yep, so just like that, you can stay right here. And then come back up. And wiggle it all out. Nice. So if you don't have blocks, you can keep doing it that way. If you do have blocks or are super flexible, I will show you what to do. You're going to start the same way. So you're going to push those hips forward, and then you can bring one hand to the block and then the other hand to the block. So you're just bending a little bit more, but your hips are still moving forward, and you can look up. And just breathing here. And slowly come back up and sit onto the knees. And just roll your hips side to side on your knees. Nice job. Good. Coming back to stand on those knees, we're going to take our left foot out to the side and our arms out. And we are going to hinge down so the left hand comes to the left leg and the right arm reaches up, coming to our gate pose, or it kind of looks like a letter K. Reaching up and come back. Good. And come back down. And back. And bring that left foot in. And right foot comes out. Arms out to the side. And right arm comes to the right leg. And left arm reaches up. Nice and strong. Keeping those shoulders from coming way up and smushing into your face. You want them to relax down. And back up. It's our letter K. And come back down. And back up. Nice, bringing those knees back in. Good, now we are going to come down to our belly for a few of our poses. So, if we start on our knees, we're going to bring our hands down. We're going to walk our hands forward so we're in our table. And then we're just going to lower down like we're doing push-ups. Maybe you push back up. Lower down like you're doing push-ups and come right to your belly. And let your feet be flat so that the tops of your feet, where you would tie your shoes, are pushing into the floor. And your hands are right by your ribs. And inhale up and just look so your head and your chest come up. And look around in our Cobra Pose. Right? A cobra is a type of snake. So maybe you make some snake noises. And down. And push back up to our cobra and look around. Good. And come back to your tabletop. And sit back on your heels and walk those hands forward, coming back to that child's pose, right? Maybe you want to be a rock right now, super quiet and solid, or a mouse, right? See if you can relax there for just a minute. And coming back to that tabletop. Nice job. So in the beginning, we reached our arms and our legs forward, right? So we're going to do a variation of that again, because now we should be super warmed up. So we're just going to reach that right leg back, but we're going to bend it. So it's like our foot is, we could kick the top of the ceiling if, we had super long legs. And then our left hand is going to reach back and grab that foot and stretch just like that. And if grabbing that foot is really hard, you can just leave it like this, just like we did in the beginning, right? It's the same idea. And let go and come back and move side to side. And our other leg. This time our left foot comes up, flexing that foot. Ninja kick, right? Like you can ninja kick up. Right arm comes forward, and you can stay here, or you can reach back and lift up. And release, and come back down. Good, and this time we're going to walk our knees a little bit further back. We're going to bend all the way down to our belly, pushing the tops of our feet into the floor. This time we're going to come up a little bit higher. So we're going to come up into a full cobra, right? So now we're coming up above the little grasses so we can really see what's going on around us. Good. And then lowering back down. Coming back to our table. Perfect. And now we're going to take a cat and a cow. So on our inhale, we're going to drop our belly and look up, and our tail, it goes up too. And then on our exhale, we're going to round our spine like a really angry cat and let our head drop down, pushing into our hands. So you're a really angry cat. We're scared, right? You ever hear cats when they get scared like that in their back as their hair goes up? And inhale to our cow pose. And exhale to our cat. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Perfect. Back to our nice flat back. This time, we're going to curl our toes and lift our knees. Right? Like we're about to jump off. Maybe we're like a cheetah. And then straighten out our legs and come to a plank. Right? We're aboard and we're the only bridge over the river below us. We want to stay up as high as we can. And pushing back, coming to our down dog. Nice job. And come forward to that plank one more time. And down dog. One more plank. And down dog. And back to the table. Sitting onto our heels and coming up. Good. Putting our hands right on our thighs. Take a nice inhale in and a nice exhale out. Perfect job. So coming back to sit, crisscross applesauce. We're going to take our right hand and bring it to the outside of our left knee. And our left hand's just going to come right behind us. And we're going to twist open, following that back shoulder. And coming back to the center and switching left hand to the right knee and twisting open. Keeping that head reaching towards the ceiling so our spine is super long, right? So we're trying to make ourselves a little bit taller. It hasn't worked for me yet, but you know, I've tried. Perfect, good. And then we're going to bring our arms out to the sides, and we're going to take our right arm, we're going to bring it up and over, and we're going to tap our own shoulder. And that other hand, that left hand, is going to come behind our back. Right? So our left hand is reaching down our back, and our right hand is reaching up our back. Maybe they connect behind us. And then switch, they come out. Other arm comes up, taps that shoulder. That arm comes behind, and they reach for each other behind your back. One side, you might be able to grab them, and the other side, maybe not. Maybe you can on both sides, maybe you can't on both sides. Doesn't matter. We're just stretching our shoulders. And then out. And then we're going to do it super fast. Like super dance moves there. Perfect. And again, coming back to our butterfly, we're going through some of the same things that we did at the beginning, right? Maybe we can feel the difference. Maybe we feel so much looser now, right? Everything's all stretched. Good. So holding on to those feet. This time we're going to walk our hands forward. See if we can go a little bit further than we went on in the beginning. And walk them over to the right. And walk them over to the left. And coming back to the center. And coming back up. Good. And bring your knees together. And we are going to go into our boat pose from here. Okay, so our boat pose, I will do it sideways so you can see it. So you want to find a nice spot where you can rest without curving your back, but without being sitting straight up. So you sort of at a diagonal. Your knees are bent. Your hands can come right under the knees. And then maybe you just come to your tippy toes. Maybe you lift one foot and then switch. And maybe you lift them both and rest here. Good. Maybe your arms come out to the sides. Maybe your legs straighten. Maybe use your oars to paddle, right? Or just stay in one spot. Maybe reach out and come in. Maybe reach out and come in. Right? Maybe you're trying to bail out the boat. There's lots of water in the boat. Just throwing it overboard and come back up. Relax. Perfect. We are going to come to lay on our back. So, we're going to lay down and bend our knees so our feet are flat on the floor. Just like this. Your arms can rest right by your sides. Good. So we're going to push into our feet and we're going to lift our hips up towards the ceiling, but keeping our feet on the floor and our hands on the floor. So we're going to use those and we're going to lift our hips up. Right? So we made a nice little ramp, right? With our body. Our knees are pointing forward. Our hips are reaching up. And come back down. And just walk your feet to the outsides of your mat and let your knees knock together in the middle. Just countering our back bend here. And let's set up for another one. Putting our feet flat, pushing into our hands and our feet. Lift our hips up. Reaching those hips up super, super high. And lowering down, nice and gentle. And this time just windshield your wiper, your legs back and forth. Perfect. And we're going to do one more back bend. So, kids always can do this super easy. So if you guys can do a wheel and it doesn't hurt or your head can come off the ground, you can do a wheel. If not, do the same bridge and push your hips up. If you want to try a wheel, your hands come right by your ears with your fingers pointing towards your feet. And you push into your hands and your feet to lift your hips up, coming into a wheel pose. And slowly and gently coming back down whenever you're ready. This time, the soles of your feet are going to come together and your legs are going to spread open so your knees are wide. And just rest your hands on your belly. And feel your belly moving up and down as you take a couple breaths. It rises on your inhale and lowers on your exhale. And imagine that there's a big giant balloon in there. Maybe it's a red balloon or a blue balloon. Picture whatever balloon you want to picture. Just feeling that balloon blow up and then deflate. Good. 2 more times. 1 more breath, feeling that balloon. Nice. And bring those knees together and pull them in towards your chest and just rock side to side. Good. And then we're going to keep our right knee pulled in and we're going to let our left leg go long down our mat. Perfect. Just like that, pull that right knee in and take your left hand to the outside of your right knee and just pull it across your body. Nice twist. But try to keep both of your shoulders on the floor. That's your challenge, right? That's the tricky part. And coming back, bringing both knees in and rocking side to side. This time, keep your left foot in. Nice and bent. Take your right hand to the outside of that left knee and pull it across your body. Keeping that left shoulder on the mat. Nice, gentle little twist. Good. Coming back and bringing both knees in. And rocking side to side. Maybe move your knees in a circle. Good. And stop and go the other way. Roll your knees in a circle. And then reach your feet up towards the sky. Reach them up there. Wiggle your toes. Maybe try to touch your toes. See if you can touch them. And just let your arms fall. Wiggle the toes. Maybe wave them side to side. Maybe point and flex. Just let those feet have a nice little break. And then just let them rest there. Good. And then you're going to bend one knee and then the other. Right? Pretend you're riding a bicycle. And stop. And go in the opposite direction. Ride backwards. Stop. Ride forwards. And reverse one more time. And stop with both feet up. And bring the feet down to the mat. And just shake it all out. Nice job. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to come back to our belly for one more little sequence before we're all done. So we're going to first come into our Sphinx pose. So you're coming down on your belly like we were in our Cobra. But this time our elbows are right under our shoulders and our upper body's up. Good. And you're just pulling the mat back like you could pull it towards you so you can feel your arms working and your belly working. Nice job. And coming back to our table, we're going to plant our left hand and then move our left knee so it's now sideways like this. And our right leg comes out and we're going to reach up, coming to a side plank, making a nice little plank here, reaching our hips up. Good. And come to stand on those knees. And just switch sides. So our right hand comes down, right knee stays bent, and our left foot reaches out. That right hand is under that right shoulder, and our left arm reaches up. And coming back to those knees. And pause here for just a moment. Nice work. Coming one more time to our Criss-Cross Applesauce. And this is a fun time, a fun pose to try. You can do it without blocks, if you have blocks, or you can try anything really. Pillows to help you. It just brings the floor a little bit closer to you. But you can totally try this on the floor. You're going to push your hands into the blocks, and you're just going to lift your body right up off the floor. So pushing into your blocks, you're going to lift your legs up. You can just rock back and forth a little. Perfect. Just play around with that. Use all those muscles in your legs. Right? Lifting up and dropping down. Nice job. And before we go in to our final resting pose, we're going to use our chime one more time. Help us bring our focus back inside to our body. So we are going to be using our ears again to listen super carefully for our chime. Okay, so remember what to do. When you can't hear it anymore, raise your hand, and then you can open your eyes. Ready? Go. How'd you do? Did it last a long time? I hope so. Now, last thing that we do at the end of every class is Shavasana. So that pose is when we just lay out on our mat. We just relax. You can let your feet lay open, your arms are by your sides, your eyes can be closed, and lay there. And they call that corpse pose, right? Because you pretend that you're just sleeping there. You're fast asleep. Nice and quiet. You're not moving. Good. You let your feet relax and your legs relax. Unclench your jaw if you're clenching your teeth together. Relax your face. Relax your shoulders. Let everything relax. See if you can even relax your hair. Does it feel relaxed? And take a few deep breaths here in your final poses. Nice job. I know you are all so quiet right now, just laying there, chilling out. Just take 2 more breaths. And when you're ready, slowly make your way up so you are sitting on your mat. And we're going to bring our hands right to our heart. Our thumbs rest right where our heart is. So if you take a deep breath, you can feel it, right? So last week we did our Yum Om, so we're going to do that one again. So last week I think we thought about our favorite dessert. Today, since I haven't eaten dinner yet, we can think about our favorite thing to eat for dinner. So think of your favorite food, especially if you're hungry, right? Maybe you can taste it, you can smell it. Imagine taking a big bite. Clearly I'm thinking of some sort of sandwichy thing. And then we take a deep breath in, keeping the image of that favorite delicious food in our head. And then we all say yum together, as long as we can. Let's all do it together. Inhale. Yum. Nice work. Then we bring our thumbs right to our forehead, our third eye, and all together we say namaste. Thank you all for coming. I hope to see you soon. I think we will be doing class every Friday, so come back next week. Thank you.